Hey Aditya, how you doing? Great to have you join our AI 360 podcast. Welcome.
Thanks, Jim. Love it. Excited to be here and have a wonderful dialogue.
So you've been at the forefront of everything going on in AI and life sciences. I think we tap you for what's the coolest stuff, what's the new use cases that clients are doing. Maybe you could just give us a little bit of a sense of what role you've been playing in the market and some overall kind of industry types of use cases that you're seeing from an AI perspective right now.
Sure. Thanks, Jim. So from a Deloitte perspective, I'm the global leader for our life sciences healthcare from an AI globally. And second, more importantly, also play a role on the innovation side. Like as Jim, you're talking about, what do we do at the edge that we can bring it back into our offerings to our clients and also accelerate that journey. So given that continuum that we are in always, given in that the AI state is always continuously changing, it's good to have those roles to really not only experiment internally, but also with our clients, collaborate, because they're also investing quite a bit. And how do we really, truly, collectively co-innovate and solution the next evolution of their businesses or offerings, or whichever you want to call it. Yeah.
I love it. So you guys have been in the forefront of thinking through, I think what you refer to as the string of pearls, like how you link together some of these AI use cases for clients. Maybe you could talk through a little bit of the methodology first, because I feel like that's been a really big unlock for our clients in terms of driving value.
Yeah. So it took a while for us, Joe, as you were in part of that journey from day one, right? We've done tons of these use cases, but we've always led with the value. And when we started looking at the value, we looked at hey, how do we really create more than just the efficiency? How do we truly transform? Given our clients are always looking for, given the change from an AI perspective that can bring, they're looking at it as a strategic lever. So if I want to use this as a strategic lever, how do I truly transform their business, within their business, their processes, within their processes, the different value streams? So we took a string of pearls approach where we looked at the capabilities that's required to run those businesses. And if we string together those use cases that will truly transform those capabilities, how do we align with that? And also we took into context not only interconnecting those capabilities, but also looking at existing investments that they're put into core systems, the data that they're purchasing, generating, obviously they've invested a ton of their on traditional AI, data plus analytics, whether it's prescriptive or data science and all, and now it's Gen AI and now agentic AI. How do we bring all of that together? And that's the methodology that we took together in terms of a string of pearls and then executing in the marketplace.
One of the things that you're kind of going there towards the end of what you were describing is, I love how you describe it in terms of linking also these different elements of technology together, because I feel like we've just been on the Gen AI craze for a little while. And then, you dig under the covers about what the solutions really are. And it's traditional machine learning. It's some data science work that goes into this. Yeah. Could you share a little bit more, maybe just even on a specific example, maybe something in R&D or patient engagement or areas like that, where you're kind of pulling some of these technologies together?
Yeah. So when we, just to take a step back, Jim, right? When we looked at that overall value story that you just spoke about, we looked at across the entire, we published that, we did 400 plus interviews, we did our strategy work across a number of these clients. And when we looked at it, we looked at about 78% of the value is generated by the R&D, commercial and supply chain manufacturing organizations. And then the 25% obviously is the enabling functions and all that. But within that, 60% was cost efficiency and also the what you call is the growth aspect of it, right? And to answer your question, in a different way, when we looked at that, we brought those elements together to lead by that value. We had to structure these, I would say, these programs in such a way that they are leading in, so that you're not building all of those string of pearls day one, but building those blocks in terms of reaching that North Star in that particular function. So for example, let's take the R&D side, where, as you know, to submit for regulatory approval, there's tons of documents that you need to generate. So we looked at how do we look at this end-to-end document generation, submission lifecycle. If I can get this product into market in hands of the patients 3 months ahead, it's a huge impact that is across the ecosystem itself. That's one thing if you look at it. If you can look at the commercial side, AI-generated content, there's so many capabilities that go along with it. But if we can string it together, can we reduce the generated content, which is obviously has to go through medical legal review 6 to 9 months, down to 11 to 12 days? can we do that? And we're able to prove that out. And we can spend all day going through a lot of use cases. But that's how we looked at it. Value, connecting these capabilities, looking at iterating it, creating the results management office to really measure that and transform the organization through change.
I got to imagine that results management office piece is such a critical thread to this as well, because we hear so many inbound questions for how am I measuring ROI from an AI investment? Yeah. Any like key learnings for our audience about that specific capability?
Yeah, I think there's a notion that once you put something in production, suddenly the value is generated in day one.
It doesn't just happen automatically.
It depends. It's uneven, the value realization, right? Yeah. If let's say you do maybe getting the value realization day one, X percentage, but there are certain use cases that also require, let's say, the op model change or business process reengineering now, which takes time. Change anything in an organization, including ours, Jim, takes a while, yeah. Right? So we've seen what we've done is even for the value realization aspect of it, we have made the expectation setting, getting the users bought into it day one, not after we go live, taking them through the journey, having them the advocates, creating champions or evangelists or whatever you want to call it into the organization, and having them truly usher their respective organization, their communities to adopt and grow. And value we've seen like exponentially being realized that way than trying to build something and let them come and then experiment and go from there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's very helpful advice. I mean, maybe one other thing, if you could just sort of help us link kind of the concept of string of pearls you mentioned to all the things that we're hearing now about agentic AI, because again, another topic you can't really get on a call and not have it mentioned. So how is that link into string of pearls?
I think I would say, Jim, it's the next evolution of it, right? And then the way I look at it is the notion that needs to change, because everybody thinks about an AI solution like, oh my God, I can learn another tool. But I think there needs to be a mind shift in terms of, hey, how can I teach the machine to work for me, right? And that's the evolution that we are doing within whether it's the value streams that we talked about or the string of pearls or the processes, is like, how do we truly augment these machines to work for that particular persona or person or a group of systems? And that has really taken up, given that, as you can imagine, our space is huge in terms of data, regulatory, and all that. There's multiple systems that we need to interact with. I think it's really exciting to see the early promise of the agentic in terms of how we can truly transform the life sciences industry.
That's awesome. Well, Aditya, thanks so much for taking your time to chat with us. Some great insights from the front lines of what you're doing from an AI perspective. Really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, Jim. Thanks for having me over. Talk soon.
Take care.